Hurricanes are a fact of life. In fact, the chance of the U.S. East Coast being hit by a major storm each season is a whopping 65%, according to national weather experts. Now, for the first time in Florida, there's a new way of home building to protect your home, family, and personal property from the devastation that comes with hurricane-force winds up to 200 miles per hour. Hurricane Houses, a company with 40 years of concrete contracting experience, now offers the absolute best built protection and strongest structures available in the building industry today for exactly the same price of conventionally built structures. As director of the Wind and Hurricane Impact Research Lab at Florida Institute of Technology, Dr. Jean-Paul Pinelli has studied extensively a variety of building technologies available today. As a structural and civil engineer, Dr. Pinelli has evaluated the design of hurricane houses' reinforced concrete structures compared to conventionally built masonry structures.
Well, if you had to withstand a major hurricane and you had to choose between your traditional masonry home or reinforced concrete home, certainly the reinforced concrete home should be your first choice in terms of major strength and resistance to impact and continuity between the joints and so on.
The technology used by hurricane houses is not new. Reinforced poured concrete has been used for more than 40 years in basements in the northern states and for more than 30 years all over the Caribbean.
Reinforced concrete is a technology that is used for all kinds of different structures and which is commonly used for homes, whatever you might think of in other parts of the world, in other parts of the states.
In fact, FEMA recommends reinforced poured on-site concrete for all of its approved hurricane and tornado shelters, primarily because these type of structures can withstand winds ranging in a Category 5 hurricane. Additionally, flying debris and other projectiles cannot damage a solid concrete wall.
I did some calculations that did show that one of these, this type of structure, reinforced concrete structure with a 6-inch wall and the corresponding reinforcement, will be able to withstand winds of up to 200 miles per hour.
The process by which hurricane houses are built is now being offered in Florida for the first time, and homeowners and builders are discovering just how affordable and streamlined the process is. This unique building method not only provides the strongest home you can build, it does it faster and at the exact same cost of conventionally built homes. Hurricane Houses customer Mrs. Carol Yip Young, who is building her 6,200 square feet dream home, was amazed to find there was no increase in cost over a conventionally built home.
We were very surprised. We expected to pay 20 to 30% more for an all-concrete reinforced wall, and we were very surprised to find out that there is no difference in cost. The cost is just the same. What's shocking to me is I can't understand why anyone would want to build with block when they could build for the same cost a 250-mile-an-hour wind-rated wall with 6-inch reinforced concrete.
During a hurricane, conventional masonry block construction is subject to penetration by flying debris, whereas reinforced concrete walls are virtually impenetrable. And building a hurricane house structure saves time as well as money because the process eliminates the need for various different subcontractors and reduces the total amount of inspections needed.
One group of people do the job of 4 or 5 different contractors with a masonry block home. So there's a savings in time, and time is money in construction. I have seen the hurricane homes go from a sandy beach lot to under roof in 10 days. So in addition to there being no additional cost for the concrete versus the masonry block, you have a tremendous savings in time. You can do one group of people do the job of 4 or 5 different contractors with a masonry block home. So there's a savings in time, and time is money in construction.
In addition to savings of time and money during construction and protection against severe weather after completion, there are additional benefits to hurricane houses and structures.
There's a major problem with termites in this area, so the termites don't eat the concrete. And it's also great for sound control. If you go inside a solid concrete house, you're not going to hear the noises outside of the house like you would with other types of construction.
Because of the strength and invulnerability of reinforced concrete structures, customer Dr. Tom Bowman chose Hurricane Houses to build a 1,200 square foot garage to house his prize car collection.
Yeah, I'm an engineer, and so I like the method of construction. I think makes a lot of sense. Steel reinforced concrete, basically all one piece when it's finished, roof down to the ground. I'm very happy with the way things have gone so far with Hurricane Homes. Their attention to quality, their attention to detail. They move quickly. They don't leave the job site sitting empty for weeks at a time, like I've noticed a lot of other job sites are doing around the area. The design is good. Economically, I don't think it's really any more expensive than having people lay blocks, which is a more labor-intensive way of building a building and ends up with a building that's not as strong.
Now that you know what sets Hurricane Houses apart from other conventional structures, let's have a look at the process of building these unique homes and structures. First, a conventional footer and slab are poured. As the slab is curing, an additional 90-degree angle of rebar is placed about every 4 feet. This rebar is the anchor that allows the road mesh and rebar to be attached and held in place in between the concrete forms, bonding the walls and the slab together. The wire mesh is a number 4 gauge, 6x6 road mesh with steel rebar every 4 feet firmly held in place with tie downs. After the framework is in place, it's precisely cut to accommodate the windows and the door frames. Then, the door and window frames, which have been accurately pre-cut, are installed by the same crew. In addition, extra rebar is added around the perimeter of all windows and doors. It's at this point that the building inspector inspects and approves the steel work. This is the only inspection required. Next, the concrete forms are put in place. They're installed in such a way that the process works to ensure that the mesh and rebar stay right in the middle of the 6-inch concrete.
When we build these structures, they are built according to the state of the art, and that includes providing sufficient concrete cover to the steel so that it won't corrode. In other words, the steel has to be placed sufficiently deep into the concrete so that it will not be subjected to corrosion.
At the time the concrete is poured, it's vibrated to prevent pockets, provide an even mix, and ensure perfect distribution. It's that simple. Let dry, remove the forms, trim the walls of debris, and it's done. This process is somewhat repeated to construct second levels, higher walls, and roofs. Support trusses are put in place. Forms are placed on top of the trusses. Rebar and road mesh are secured and placed in the proper location, and concrete is poured. So as the crew moves upward, it's like creating a new foundation for each level of floor, walls, and roof, repeating the process as you proceed upwards. This allows the builder to construct second and third floors and perfect roofs in a quick and timely manner. Let it be emphasized here that there is no change for other trades created by this process. And since there is no difference in cost, with a big savings in time and a huge difference in strength and durability, not to mention higher resale value, building a custom structure with Hurricane Houses is an easy decision, especially for anyone who has actually lived through the nightmare of a severe hurricane or tornado.
One of the first things we encountered when we moved to Florida was a tornado. In the middle of the night, we woke up to this horrendous sound like a train coming right for us. We had never gone through anything like that. The sound was incredible. And so when we started looking around our house, we weren't sure quite where to go when a tornado is headed your way. So we feel very, very safe. And as a matter of fact, all the neighbors have joked about they know where they're going when the next hurricane or tornado strikes.
Keeping you safe in a hurricane, helping to protect your home, property, and valuables are top priorities for Hurricane Houses concrete contractors. And remember, Hurricane Houses are built faster at exactly the same cost of conventionally built homes. Meeting the hurricane building codes of the future today. Hurricane Houses. Contact your local Hurricane Houses franchise subcontractor for more information.